Man, the Pokemon champions are so cool. They have such strong Pokemon and give off so much aura. Yeah, I totally agree. Who's your favorite Pokemon champion then? Oh gosh, I don't know. Cynthia is definitely top tier. But so is Leon. But for my very favorite, I gotta go with Steven. What about you? Oh, I really like Steven too. But my personal favorite has gotta be the Johto region champion, Lance. What? Lance? Lance the bird keeper? Lance the full restore spammer? They said Lance! You like... I'm tired of having this conversation. Lance is cool, okay? And my explanation for the worldwide Lance hate is simple. The Pokemon Company is not allowing you to see his full aura and splendor. Introducing Lance as the last member of the Indigo League's Elite Four was the beginning of greatness. You were just getting a taste of what Lance would be later. Why did I write that? Do you know how cool it is to see Lance as the Johto region's champion in Gold and Silver after seeing him as just an Elite Four member in Red and Blue? Is that aura or no? When it comes down to defending Lance, I'm bringing the same argument every time. Game Freak was hyping him up very well in the DS era, especially with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and then completely forgot about him. Forgot about what he stood for, about the Dragon Tamer honor he carried when battling and standing for justice. That's why he was the way he was when they brought him back in Pokemon Journeys. I promise you, he is not losing to Diantha if he Mega Evolves Guide's trust. I know I don't like to contribute anime counterparts when defining a Pokemon character's personality, but in this case I kinda have to, since he barely appears again after Gold Silver Crystal and Heart Gold Soul Silver. But here's the thing, his anime counterpart is a rare occurrence of the show not completely ruining a character's personality and mischaracterizing them. Lance was so amazing in Pokemon the series Gold and Silver. You can really tell how much he cares for Pokemon and how good of a person he is. He was very smart and cunning, especially proven when he reappears in the later arcs as a member of the Pokemon G-Men, in which he's the only known member, and actually assists the group of children in not only beating, but also detaining the evil team organizations. Talk about Pokemon League champion responsibility. Ain't he just great? Hey, but wasn't he killing people in the manga? Be quiet! I am very aware of the reasons people either dislike Lance or don't care about him. So I'll go over every complaint or reason for this with my own super unbiased information to defend him. Starting off with Lance the Bird Keeper. AKA Lance has too many flying types on his team, although he is advertised to be the dragon champion. So yeah, Lance's teams have always kinda had a majority of flying types and less dragon types. Kinda defeats his whole dragon trainer title, right? Wrong! Lance claims in multiple media to be a dragon trainer or a dragon user, not a dragon type trainer. Thus, he uses Pokemon that are relative to dragons or have been stated to be dragons. Both Gyarados and Aerodactyl have been stated in other media to be dragons despite lacking the type. This is backed up by Lance's dialogue in Pokemon Masters EX where he mentions that, and I quote, "Not all dragons are dragon-type Pokemon. And it's not his fault that the majority of dragons are also flying types. Give bro a break." He only claims to be a dragon type trainer in Black and White 2, where he has updated teams to solidify this claim. Lance is still the dragon champion and the first notable trainer to use dragon types. You can also argue that the reason for this was because there was literally one dragon evolution in Gen 1, but that argument is lame and outdated now. Now, you can still beat his team with a strong ice type, but he's typically too overleveled anyway. Thanks, HGSS. Next we have, Lance is an infamous cheater. That sounds so bad. This is most likely referencing his underleveled Dragonites, which is an impossible feat in Pokemon, since Dragonair evolves into Dragonite at level 55, and 3 of his teams show Dragonite underneath that level. So Lance is a cheater, since you shouldn't be able to obtain Pokemon that evolve under their level cap. But let me tell you a secret. You literally can obtain Pokemon just like this! In Pokemon Red and Green, you can encounter level 4 to 6 Kakuna in Metapod when they should evolve at level 7. In Pokemon Yellow, you can encounter a level 9 Pidgeotto, a level 15 Raticate, and a level 19 Fearow. Let's skip a few gens. In Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, you can encounter a level 26 Electrode, level 5 Silcoon and Cascoon, and a level 5 Gyarados. Since the literal start of Pokemon, you've been able to encounter underleveled Pokemon. You can't be upset that Lance has underleveled Pokemon when you literally can as well. Now, how did he manage to find an underleveled Dragonite? Mind your business. Let's also not forget to mention that there are other infamous cheaters in the Pokemon world. Mars and Jupiter have both a level 16 and 20 per ugly and Skuntank respectively. Yeah, they're criminals, but let's remember to recall the proper explanation. Lastly, we have Lance is boring. Now, this is probably the most common reason I hear people claim they don't like or care for Lance, and I have to say, you're not completely in the wrong. Lance doesn't exactly have a lot of media he's featured in. Johto is an underrated region, and the last bit of content we got related to it was Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which came out 15 years ago. What the hell, Game Freak? What is... You can, of course, count the Pokemon Journeys episodes, but that's kind of dumb. I think the best bits of media Lance is featured in is Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Pokemon Generations, the Pokemon Gold and Silver series, and in the Yellow and Heart Gold and Soul Silver arcs in the Pokemon Adventures manga. He's so tough here, bro. Look at him and tell me he doesn't look cold here. For a conclusion, I have to say, I understand if you don't care for Lance. He probably has the least amount of screen time compared to every other champion, and the newer anime did him pretty dirty. But I also want you to hear me out and consider one thing. Let the Pokemon Company cook with him. Lance has so much opportunity and promise as a character, and if we get a new Johto game soon, we can finally have a chance to see that. I know they can flesh out his character more. There's so much more room to do so, and it's honestly a wasted chance to me. Please, Pokemon Company, I'm begging you. If you don't want to put him in the games, give him more merchandise. I'll take that too. I'll spend hundreds of dollars on it. I already spent so much money on Etsy buying fan things because you won't drop official merchandise. Please, I will buy anything Lance related. I will buy. Let me calm down. You know, it's not that big of a deal, is it? It's not really that big of a deal. After recently finishing Soul Silver for the first time, it was the one DS game I missed out on, and the Sinnoh ones too, I was very accomplished. Like, I felt like, I don't know, it was peak, bro. It was literally peak. Like, I loved playing through that game. Very excited to get to Lance, must say. Very excited. That battle was not as stressful as I thought it was gonna be because I sat there and spent a week leveling up my Dratini so we could learn Outrage with an Everstone, and well, let's just say Outrage did its job in that in that battle there. His Dragonite did not stand a chance. But I love Lance. I love Lance. I think he's a great champion. I think he should be in a lot more media. It kind of makes me sad that nobody really cares about him. But on the bright side, when someone shows care for him, it, like, I don't know, it ignites something insane in me. That's probably, I should word that different. You know what? No, goodbye. That's enough out of me. Bye-bye.